Welcome to the Bearcat Beat on LSPN, where each week we share conversations about everything that makes Sherman ISD athletics so great. I'm your host, Chris Daly. Sherman Bearcat Athletics represent the heart and soul of our community, where champions are made both on the field and in the classroom. Our student athletes embody the Bearcat spirit through dedication, perseverance, and excellence, creating memories and building character that will last a lifetime. Remember, it's better to be a Bearcat. This is just one of the many amazing things that the Booster Club accomplishes throughout the year for all sports. If you're interested in joining the Sherman Athletic Booster Club, or if you want to purchase some merchandise to show your Sherman Bearcat love, you can visit the website at shermanisd.net under the Athletics tab. All right, welcome back to the Bearcat Beat. I'm Chris Daly. Please join me in welcoming back Coach Phillip Manning, the boys basketball coach. How you doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing wonderful. I get to talk sports. That's a great
Cool.
life.
Yeah, no doubt.
The only better life, I think, would be getting to coach sports.
Hey, it's a blessing. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I get to coach a kids game for a living. That's awesome. That is a blessing.
That is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we need to talk about the record, and
Yep.
it's not amazing right now,
No.
but you've got a good reason, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody ever wants to start 1-12. I'll tell you.
Right.
But in a 3-week stretch, I think we were in two of the toughest tournaments in the state, and I'm hoping that the competition that we've had will pay off in the long run. I know 7 of those 12 losses were against 6A playoff teams. And then we played 3 playoff 5A teams and lost to them as well. So we've been playing a ton of talented teams that are going to be there in the postseason. And, we've come up short for sure. But, at the same time, we're hoping that, the season is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping that, and, the guys are, really, really buying in, really believing like, hey, we're chipping away at this thing. And we found ourselves this weekend at the Roy City tournament against those said like 5A teams like Mount Pleasant and Tyler and North Garland. And we found ourselves in a 1-2 possession game late in the fourth quarter. It didn't finish the way we wanted it to, but, we are in those games. We just have to find a way to finish those games. That's where we're at.
Yeah, definitely. And there's nothing like, starting with your feet to the fire, right?
Yeah. and maybe I put us in the fire completely, I think.
That's true. You're neck deep in the fire.
Yeah, we are neck deep in the fire right now. But I'll tell you what, these guys haven't stopped responding, and that's what I love about them is that they're a fearless group. They're really resilient, and based on our record and based on some of the opponents that we faced, like our first opponent was Denton Braswell out the gate, and they shot the 3-ball 56% that night that we played them. And I believe they're beating anybody that night, but like our kids were like, I mean, really like resilient out of it. Like, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to respond? And then we go to the Prosper tournament. It's more of the same, and sometimes seasons start like that, but we believe that we are making strides. We have to work on our consistency, and we're getting to that. And we're getting to a stretch where we're going to have a lot more gym time as opposed to 5 games in 3 days and 4 games in 3 days, and we've had 1 home game. So we have been road warriors.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, I think we put them directly in the fire. A lot of guys with no experience. But you know what? This is how you get experience, right? You don't have a choice.
That's true. And you mentioned that the kids aren't backing down. Talk about some of the players. Call out some names that are really standing up.
So, Bryson Taylor, he's been huge for us. He even had 32 points against Paris when we played them. Just a catalyst for us offensively. Defensively, TJ Johnson has been. He's not going to show up in the stat sheet as far as points go, but when you start looking at his VPS, which if you look at VPS, a 1 is a solid player, a 2 is an excellent player, and I think his VPS for us through 13 games is somewhere around 1.68, which is phenomenal. And that's just what he can do with assists, with rebounds. His
Yeah.
turnover percentage is way down, things like that.
If you
So
could explain the VPS for people who don't understand it.
yeah, so it's just, I mean, really, just long story short, it's putting all the stats together that affect winning or losing. Like we're
Yeah.
talking about points and field goal percentage and 3-pointers made. Obviously, if you get steals and blocks and rebounds, that all positively affects your VPS.
Hmm.
And then turnovers, missed shots, missed free throws, and everything that'll negatively affect your VPS. So all that is just I'm terrible at math, but I know the explanation of what goes into it. And you get an idea of what is solid and what is excellent. And
Yeah.
you put all that algorithm together. That's what you get out of the VPS. So,
I love it. I
yeah.
love it. And I didn't
Yeah.
mean to interrupt you if you have more flavor for
No,
me.
no, no,
So,
no, no, 100%. Yeah. I kind of get in the weeds on the analytics stuff sometimes, but yeah, no. So Bryson Taylor, TJ Johnson have been good, really good for us. Jeremiah Babcock on the boards. We've had our shooters, Owen Davern, Tyler Wright, that have showed up for us at different times in different games. And then Julian Delgado has been consistent for us with the ball in his hands. We'd love to see him try to score the ball a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive.
yeah.
But those guys have been big time for us. And like I said, we I don't think any of us are playing to the fullest or near the fullest of our potential yet. So we're kind of looking forward to seeing what that looks like. We can tap into that.
I love that. And I don't want to put you in a trap situation of saying something you don't want to say, but talk about the pre-district versus the
Mhm.
district. Is this up to the level of district, or are you going to skate through district now?
Well, I think, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, our district is pretty solid,
Yeah.
and that's one reason why I wanted to schedule the teams that we scheduled
Yeah.
because, Anna and Melissa and Walnut Grove and Lovejoy, those four returning playoff teams, they're returning a lot of talent on their rosters and they've added talent to their rosters. And so that's one reason why I don't think that it's a skate through, but I think it's a wake up call to where we need to get to
Yeah.
with the level competition that we've played thus far. And of course, you want to be able to beat the teams that you're supposed to compete with and be competitive with as well.
Mhm.
So getting ready for the Greenvilles and the Denisons, of course, Denison, that has some
Yep.
extra juice to it, as you know,
Exactly.
and McKinney North as well. So you don't want to lose any of those as well. So I think that the level of competition with us only having 3 more non-district games until we get to our first district game on December 23rd when Greenville
Yeah.
comes to town. I think I'm really excited about this stretch of being in the gym, especially this week. Kind of getting our legs back underneath us again, fine tuning some things, and seeing what comes of the next 3 games before we get to Greenville.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Speaking of district, though, let's assume you're making the playoffs and you'll be one of
Yeah,
those top four.
yeah.
Who are the other three that you feel pretty confident will be up there?
Well, I think Melissa has a lot going on right now with a lot of movement. They lost their best player. He decided to go to Dynamic Prep. He committed to Texas and then left to Dynamic Prep. So that's a big loss for them. They're
Mhm.
still tremendously talented, though. I still think I would put my money really on them, on Anna, and on Lovejoy. Walnut Grove is a very talented team as well. I think that we'd have to be in the mix with them. So,
Yeah,
and then McKinney North, they've played a tough non-district schedule thus far as well. They've got a similar record to us. I think they're 1-9 or 1-10 as well, but they're more talented than their record. And then Denison's gotten some wins early. Greenville is hovering around the same area that we are. So in my mind, I think Lovejoy and Anna and Melissa are kind of way up there. We'd have to compete with McKinney North and
yeah,
Walnut Grove if we're going to get in.
got it, got it, got it. And then what about as far as those other teams in the district? Do
Mm-hmm.
you do you see a standout player, like somebody who you're like, wow, this guy's going D1. He's the real deal.
Well, I mean, Goose before Melissa was that.
Yeah,
I still think they have Trey Edwards, who is a 5-star sophomore for them. They have a big man that moved from Minnesota. His last name is Mustafa. He's got offers to A&M and to LSU that play for Melissa as well. And then you have Texas A&M Corpus Christi commit and Anna with Foon. He's a legit 7-foot center. They also have some talented guards as well. And then you go down to Walnut Grove and you have Monte Ellis Jr., who looks and plays just like his dad, who had a pretty successful NBA career. If you're a Maverick fan like I am, you know pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I mean, our district is loaded with talent. You know, I'm forgetting a couple of, Division II, Division I level guards at Anna. And then Lovejoy has a couple of, guys that are going to be playing college basketball at the next level as well. So it's a pretty talented district from top to bottom. Our all district teams, if you make an all district team in our district, you're pretty darn good.
It's saying something, right?
Yeah.
So with this stretch where you get, like you said, more time in the gym, what are some of the things that you need to really work on that you've noticed from this stretch?
So, I mean, our turnovers have been a killer for us. And, like when you're playing the competition that we have been playing and you're averaging 21 turnovers a game, that's not ideal. And so we got to bring that down quite a bit. So we're going to be working, just handling the ball against pressure. We're, some of those silly turnovers, some working on our passing, working on our reads offensively and in transition. We started that today, actually, in practice this morning. So that's an area offensively that I think is really killing us. We're a very small team. If you look at our roster.
So you're going to ask them to grow?
Can't ask them to grow, but we can ask them to make boxing out a priority, right? Because the games that we have been competitive in, our goal, we set some team goals at the beginning of the year, and it was to rebound 40% of our offensive rebounds and to get 70% of our defensive rebounds. Now, every game that we've been competitive in, we have gotten between 36 and 42% of our offensive boards, and we've gotten about 65 to 70% of our defensive boards. So we see that direct correlation with being competitive and being a possession or two down and being in some of those crunch time situations or clutch time situations. So rebounding is big for us. And then transition defense. I think teams have been killing us. Now, we put a lot of pressure on the ball, but we have not been doing a good job of helping ourselves on the backside when we do get beat. And we've played some teams with some very fast and talented guards that were able to get past that first layer, and we're not doing a very good job of getting that gap, helping that second, third layer of defense built up fast enough to protect the paint like we need to. So I feel like if we can take care of the basketball, if we can make rebounding a priority and meet our goals more consistently there, and then of course being able to keep the ball out of the paint and slow it down and turn teams over more. That would be those are probably three areas that we're really focusing in when we get in the gym Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah,
nice. And on the scoreboard, you got pretty beat up over these 13 games. What about in life? How healthy are the kids?
So we've, this time of year, sickness plays a factor. I know that first game against Braswell, we had 2 starters out with the flu, and we got them back for the tournament. And, they came back literally the Thursday we started the Prosper tournament. So getting them back in shape in that way was terrible. And then had another kid get the flu the next week. So we've been struggling with that. All in all, I mean, we had Malik Chapman sprained his ankle, our sophomore. He was unable to play with us this last weekend in Roy City. So, we're banged up, but I mean, everybody is battling the flu and colds and some sprained ankles, but we're blessed enough that we haven't had anything, and I'm, knocking on wood here, that we haven't had anything, that would keep kids out for a long period of time.
Right.
So, we're just trying to stay healthy. And that is another thing about this week that's going to be great for us is, we can kind of rest up and heal up from some of those bumps and bruises a little bit. Yeah.
Excellent. Definitely. Well, Coach Manning, guys, I want to thank you again for stopping by, and we will be following you as you go into district. Hopefully, we'll be talking, when you get that playoff spot.
Hey, we're believing in it. We believe it every day. We fight for it every day. And thanks for having us on. And hey, we have our next home game next Friday, December 19th, at 4:30 in our gym against Solana. We'd love to see you guys there. And then if nobody has plans on the 23rd of December, we open up district against Greenville here at home at 1:30 in the afternoon, 2 days before Christmas. So you're not doing anything to anyway. Come on out and see some basketball.
Exactly. You're off anyway. Come on by.
Yeah, yeah, we'd love to see all the support we can get, especially a district game. All of our kids are out of school, so it's gonna be harder for them to show up. So we'd love to see as many people come out as possible. So thanks,
Sounds
Chris.
good.
For having
Thanks again.
All right, bye.
I want to thank you for listening to the Bearcat Beat. Each week throughout the school year, you will hear all sorts of great information about all the athletic programs at Sherman ISD. Please do us a favor, like, share, comment, do whatever you can to help us reach more Bearcat fans.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coach's Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coach's Show started.